If you're trying to choose between Wix and Shopify, I need you to know something before you pick one. Because the wrong choice may not feel wrong today. It may feel easy. It may feel cheaper. It may feel like I'll just start here and figure it out later. But a few months from now, you might realize you built your entire website on a platform that does not actually match the business you're trying to build. And that is when switching becomes annoying, expensive, and honestly, kind of painful. So in this video, I'm going to help you figure out whether you should use Wix or Shopify based on what you're actually building. Not based on hype, not based on what everyone else is using, based on your business. And I'm going to make this really simple. By the end of this video, you'll know whether Wix makes more sense for you, whether Shopify makes more sense for you, and the one situation where I would not choose either platform blindly without thinking twice. Because that third category is where a lot of beginners make the wrong decision. Most people compare Wix and Shopify the wrong way. They ask, which one is cheaper? Which one has prettier templates? Which one is easier? And yes, those things matter. But they're not the real question. The real question is, are you building a website that happens to sell something, or are you building an online store? That one distinction changes everything. Because Wix and Shopify are not really trying to solve the exact same problem. They overlap, yes, but they're not the same kind of tool. The core difference. Here is the simplest way to think about it. Wix is a website builder that can also sell products. Shopify is an e-commerce platform that can also have website pages. That sounds like a tiny difference, but it is actually the entire decision. Wix starts with a website, your homepage, your about page, your services, your portfolio, your blog, your contact page, your brand presence. Then, if you want, you can add e-commerce features on top. Shopify starts with the store. Products, inventory, checkout, orders, shipping, payments, discounts, sales channels, abandoned carts. Then, if you want, you can add content pages around that store. So the question is not which platform is better. The question is, what is the center of your business? Who should choose Wix? You should probably choose Wix if your website is mainly there to present you your services, your content, or your brand. For example, you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a service provider, you're a photographer, you're a designer, you're a creator, you're a local business, you sell a small number of digital products, templates, bookings, or simple offers. In that case, Wix can make a lot of sense because your website is not just a store. It is your online home. You care about how the pages look. You care about explaining what you do. You care about having flexibility with your layout. You may want a blog, a booking page, a portfolio, a contact form, a lead magnet, or a simple sales page. And then maybe you sell a few things too. That is where Wix can feel easier and more natural. Because you're building a business website first, and the selling part is just one piece of that. But, and this is important, this is where people get trapped. Because Wix is easier in the beginning does not automatically mean Wix is the best long-term choice. If your business becomes more product-heavy, your needs change. And that brings us to Shopify. Who should choose Shopify? You should probably choose Shopify if the store is the business. Meaning you sell physical products, you have multiple products, you care about inventory, you need shipping options, you want product variants, you want discount codes, you want stronger checkout flows, you want to sell across multiple channels, you want e-commerce reports, you want an ecosystem built around selling. That is where Shopify usually makes more sense. Because Shopify is built around the transaction. It is built for people who wake up thinking, how do I get more orders? How do I improve conversion? How do I manage products? How do I scale the store? If that is you, Shopify will probably feel more aligned with where you're going. Not necessarily easier on day one, but more built for the business model. That don't pick based on today moment. Here's the mistake I see beginners make. They choose based on what feels easiest today. But you should choose based on what your business will need 6 months from now. Because today, you may only have one product. Today, you may only need a simple checkout. Today, you may only care about getting something online. But ask yourself, will I eventually have a full products catalog? Will I need serious e-commerce features? Will I care about abandoned cart emails, shipping, taxes, inventory, product collections, upsells, and conversion tracking? If yes, Shopify may be the better long-term choice. But if selling is only one part of a broader website, Wix may be the better fit. Now let's talk about price for a second. Because yes, pricing matters. But I would not make this decision based only on which one looks cheaper. A platform being cheaper does not help if it makes your business harder to run. And a platform being more expensive does not mean automatically it is better for you. The better question is, what am I paying for? With Wix, you're often paying for an easier all-in-one website building experience. With Shopify, you're paying for a more e-commerce focused system. So instead of asking which one costs less, ask which one will save me time. Which one will support the way I actually make money? Which one will I not outgrow too quickly? That is a much better way to think about the cost. So here's the simple decision framework. Choose Wix if your main goal is, I need a beautiful, flexible website for my business and I may sell a few things from it. Choose Shopify if your main goal is, I need an online store and my business is built around selling products. Choose Wix if your site is mostly about content, services, bookings, portfolio, lead generation, or personal brand. Choose Shopify if your site is mostly about products, checkout, shipping, inventory, e-commerce growth, and online sales. And if you're still unsure, ask yourself this. If I removed the store from my website, would the website still matter? If yes, Wix might be enough. But if I removed the store and there would basically be no business left, that points to Shopify. Now, earlier I said there is one situation where I would not choose either one blindly. And that is if you are building a business where the offer is still unclear. For example, you're not sure whether you'll sell services, digital products, physical products, memberships, courses, bookings, or something else. In that case, do not just pick the platform everyone is talking about. Pick the platform that gives you the easiest path to test your actual offer. For some people, that will be Wix, because it lets you quickly build pages and explain what you do. For others, that will be Shopify, because the product selling system is the core of the business. But the mistake is committing to a platform before you understand what you're actually trying to sell. That is how people end up rebuilding everything later. So my honest answer is, Wix is not worse than Shopify. Shopify is not automatically better than Wix. They're built around different priorities. If you're a service provider, creator, coach, consultant, or small business owner who needs a flexible website with some selling features, I would seriously consider Wix. If you're building a product-based online store and e-commerce is the whole business, I would seriously consider Shopify. The wrong choice is not choosing Wix. The wrong choice is not choosing Shopify. The wrong choice is picking a platform because it sounds popular without thinking about your actual business model. And if you're leaning toward Wix, I have another video where I break down the Wix pricing plans and explain which one you actually need so you don't accidentally overpay or pick the wrong plan. I'll link the video on screen now. Watch that next before you upgrade, because choosing the platform is step one, but choosing the right plan is where a lot of people make the next expensive mistake.